with notable injuries. However, the Cowboys are coming off an impressive road win in D.C., and yesterday Jerry Jones was asked about the possibility of bringing back his embattled head coach, Mike McCarthy.
I don't think that's crazy at all. That's not crazy. Listen, Mike McCarthy is one outstanding coach, and Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He's got great ideas. So bottom line is that no place in my body language or anything else have you seen indications about what we're going to be doing relative to this staff at the end of this year. And we shouldn't. We got a lot of football left.
It'll be interesting to see if Mac McCarthy comes back.
Mac McCarthy.
Cowboys head coach. Thanks for noticing that walk and talk, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
That was Domonique.
I love
different guy.
I love to remind somebody
different guy
who really puts the time in from a broadcast perspective, and I always give credit where it's due.
They practice walk and talks in college. Hey, Nick, you heard it there. I mean, people say, wait, keep Mike McCarthy? Why do you believe in this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, Jerry said that nothing in his body language suggests that he wouldn't want to keep Mike McCarthy. Don't nobody care about what your body's saying. Say it with a contract. Say it with a comma and some dollar signs and some zeros.
That's what my wife said before we got married.
He sent Mike McCarthy out there in a lame duck situation. So I do think that Mike McCarthy's handled everything up until now pretty well. This is a very unique situation, and he's coached as well as you can given the circumstances, given the fact that Jerry Jones spent this offseason not getting a running back, not addressing issues across the defensive line, playing around with the contracts of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Like, he's just doing all this ridiculous stuff that makes the job tougher for Mike McCarthy. And Mike has had success there, so I think it's reasonable to bring him back, especially if this team keeps fighting the way that it is, even though they're kind of out of it.
Hawk, you agree, disagree?
You know, I agree, and I think two things can be true. Number one, that the way that Mike McCarthy has performed and his teams have performed in the postseason in previous years, when we knew that they had what they needed from a roster perspective, could be a disappointment and be worthy of saying, okay, maybe we should make a change. But also this year, to your point, Nick, we came into the offseason knowing exactly what the holes for this team were. And that's been the entire conversation, is that they have not been able to overcome that obstacle. So to point to Mike McCarthy and say it's his fault, it's tough. Yeah. The team has not played motivated. The team does not look prepared. And there have been in-game decisions and adjustments that do fall on the head coach. But all those things become considerably harder when you know you are playing with half a deck.
And that's the thing, because if Jerry Jones had fired Mike McCarthy in the offseason, after they lost to the Packers, you would say, you know what, he's a good coach, but I get it. They consistently fall short. But after this season, I think he's been handcuffed, honestly, by his owner. Now, I almost feel bad for Mike McCarthy. Like, he didn't have a fighting chance this season. Looking at the remainder of their schedule, I don't feel particularly confident that they're going to be able to finish strong enough that says, look, Giants, Bengals, even if they beat the Giants, they beat the Bengals, like, it's the last 3 games for me. And they could finish, honestly, 0-3 to end the year. And I feel like for Mike McCarthy, that's unfortunate because his owner really didn't give him a firm leg to stand on.
And Saturday, you know this better than anyone. All of you up here know this. When in a situation where the GM makes some bad decision, guess what the owner does?
Right.
Fires the GM.
Yeah, right.
Well, guess who's the GM?
That's right.
He's not firing this GM because it's Jerry. And when you talk about a coaching situation, you would better know what you're getting into with another coach. So what does this boil down to for you?
Yeah, who we hiring, right? We love to fire people. We don't know who we're hiring yet. So are we hiring Deion Sanders? Are we hiring Bill Belichick? Like where are we going? Which direction are we trying to head? The thing for Mike McCarthy, and everybody up here said it very well. Good football coach, all of those things. Hasn't gotten it done at the 12-4 seasons that they've had. Hired a defensive coordinator, and the defense has been bad this year, right? So to me, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm saying, okay, how does my defense finish this season? Is the guy that he brought in and hired as a defense coordinator really showing? Because Dan Quinn has proved himself, right? He goes to Commanders, and he's lighting it up. So we know there's going to be a slight step back and just trying to get back on the same page. But they got to finish strong, because that's where I could fault Mike McCarthy. It's who are you hiring? He's now the coordinator. Their offense wasn't playing good with him calling the plays with Dak Prescott. So now we can give him a little bit of excuse because of the Cooper Rush situation. But I want to see which direction we're headed. I don't mind the Mike McCarthy staying or going either way to me. I just want to know who we're hiring before we decide to fire.
The answer to the question in Dallas is going to be different than anywhere else because that situation is so unique. So, like, I don't know that I would encourage people to extend Mike McCarthy if it was at another place, but finding someone that fits in and has success, some level of success with Jerry in this state seems really difficult. And going out and all the names that come up are people who have leverage and power and are likely not to take this. Like, I think Mike Vrabel's probably one of the best guys out there on the market. If I was Mike Vrabel, I would look at them and laugh. Like, I'm not going to come work for Jerry Jones. Same thing for Bill Belichick. And maybe Deion Sanders is one who would consider it because of the jump. But, like, any of these hot young coaches who have a chance, and hot old coaches, if you're counting Bill Belichick, who have a chance of getting a job, are looking at this situation thinking, hell no, I'm going to get a lot of attention and not a lot of control. Right. And my fate is going to be decided by someone else's decision.
Deion likes being the show. Yeah, Jerry likes being the show. So you wonder how that relationship would work. Like Thanksgiving, we're going to go around the table real quick, but I need a yes or no answer. Keep Mike McCarthy. Yes or no?
No.
Not an answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You didn't answer. Hold on. You're not getting off the hook.
Kmart be
You know what?
shocked.
I'd be shocked if you guys stopped running this photo of
No.
goodness.
We're going to enhance it. Would Kmart be shocked if the 49ers missed the playoffs?
Oh, this pains me because preseason I picked them to make the Super Bowl. But no, I would not be shocked. The injuries that they've had, how this team has looked, the injuries have been a killer. And also, consider their schedule that they got to end the season with. So, no, I just think it might be too tough of a hurdle for them. But this is a good team, man.
Right. Would you be shocked if Bo Nix wins Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Okay, Matthew. No, I would not be shocked, but I'd be surprised. Because this means...
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean?
That Jaden Daniels, would have to fall off considerably. But give credit to Bo Nix and Sean Payton. This Broncos team... Guys, enough.
Semantics?
Get control of this substitute teacher. Get control of these boys. No, credit to Bo Nix because he has played very well.
Yeah.
But no, that means Jaden would have to fall off, and I don't see that happening.
Oh, and everyone's favorite quarterback from a rookie to a veteran. Would you be shocked if Aaron Rodgers is back as the Jets quarterback next season?
Yes, I would be shocked because if you're a Jets fan, why would you want to see this all over again? He's going to be 42 next year. I don't think quarterbacks get better at 42 years old, unless you're Tom Brady. So no, I would be shocked. I just think the Jets kind of have to just blow it all up and start again.
So just punt, regroup, rehire.
Punt this season.
All right, well,
just end this season.
Well, if he does show back up, we're going to show that picture of you there.
Yes.
And we've seen Hall of Fame Packers quarterbacks play for the Jets and deliberate their futures into their 40s before. The question is, what will Rodgers do? He discussed that with Pat McAfee.
As far as my future goes, I haven't told anybody in my life that I want to play in 2025 and not on the Jets. So that's 100% false. I actually said the opposite. I said that I'm going to wait and see what happens with at the end of the season. I came here to win here. So I'm not jumping off ship, I definitely want to play and not in New York. I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option.
All right, Nick, your thoughts to what Aaron Rodgers said.
He can't jump off the ship because he's ordered all the parts.
Yeah.
At every step of the way, he said, it seemed that he was saying, if you just get me this, if you just change that, if you just bring in this person, it's going to get better. And it progressively got worse. So I'd be surprised, shocked, stunned. I don't know what word we're using, but I would be surprised if Aaron Rodgers wanted to come back. But he can't be the one that pushes his way out.
Right.
Like, he's created this situation. What should happen, I think, is the Jets probably should move on from him and get a fresh start for him somewhere else. And for them, I think he's not going to want to end his career this way.
Which is incredible because this almost feels like Green Bay 2.0. The reason he's even a Jet is because the Packers said, hey, you know what? We're done. And he felt unwanted and he felt unloved and he couldn't believe that they were ready to move on. And now this could be a second franchise that says, hey, we're good. We'll just figure it out without you.
I mean, there's been no indication that this is worthy of another shot. Like, this is an experiment that failed miserably. Call it what it is. This is a team that is worse than they were a year ago after he got hurt. And then that team was worse than they were the previous year without Aaron Rodgers completely. So, I mean, I would imagine the first person who poured gasoline on fire didn't say, well, Let's give it another shot. Let's let's run it back one more time to see how it comes together.
I'm not sure I'm buying that analogy, but I know I know
What about pour oil on a grease fire? There it is. It's like a grease fire. You like put water on the fire. It's like, whoa, never try this again.
So do they do this oil grease fire?
See, here's the thing with the Aaron Rodgers is the Jets went all in. Like we can make fun of Jerry Jones and the way he talks about going all in. Woody Johnson went all in, and he tried to do so. What's your parachute here? There is no. Who are you going to go get? Are you going to go back? Are you going to try to go get Vikings?
Sam
Darnold? Is he coming back? Like, what are we? Where are we in going to get a quarterback? You going to try to draft one? If you're going to draft one, is it beneficial for Aaron to be there for a year as you try to develop this guy? There's a lot of. And listen. You're right. He's the captain of the ship. He's got to go down with it, and that may require another year of holding on to an aging quarterback. I'm just going to tell y'all, there's not a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL, okay? No. So if you feel like he gives you even a decent chance, your money's already in, you're already in.
The thing about Aaron Rodgers is it seems like his talent was always so good that the other stuff was not a problem.
He can tolerate it.
Right? That's a good point. His talent has not seemed to be there at this point. So I'm not sure that keeping him around as some sort of bridge quarterback, his impact on the team and on the culture is so much that, like, I want Aaron Rodgers around if he's going to be Aaron Rodgers. If he's going to be this version of Aaron Rodgers, I don't need to integrate.
Here's the question that I have. If you bring Aaron Rodgers back, are you bringing this whole offensive system back? Is Aaron going to be okay with that?
Yeah. Well, that's your choice. That's when it becomes your choice if you want to play or not. I would definitely not run it back with this system. This thing's archaic in the way it's being run. They got to figure this out, and it makes their line. It exposes another weakness, which is their offensive line.
Here's the thing that
a lot of aging guys.
I know both of you guys can identify with. My question about Aaron Rodgers is, does he even want to play football? Right. And that's a hard thing, because football is a marriage that's guaranteed to end in divorce for all of us.
Right.
But as you know, we all got to this point in our careers where things off the field interested us more than on the field. And it seems like Aaron Rodgers is there. He doesn't seem like a guy that wants to mentor young players, bring guys along, give everything he has in the football. And at 42, that's necessary to be successful.
So we have two examples to combat that. One, Aaron Rodgers didn't play well with Jordan Love, and the Packers drafted him for the future. And two, the Jets haven't drafted quarterbacks well.
Hey, that's
so it seems
same people hiring.
They haven't developed them. They haven't developed them.
It was all Robert Saleh's fault, though. I'm glad that we fired Saleh week 4 because it was 100% his fault.
We got that out of the way.
Can we say that? Good gracious.